We should be live. Yes.
Hello, everyone. This game is Mulaka. It's very good. I will not do it justice. Yeah, like I said,
Ready whenever.
okay, we do runs on Profile 2. I mean, I guess you could do them on Profile 1. The reasoning behind this will become clear in about 20-25 minutes. So I'll count in the timer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. This game was made by Lienzo, a studio out of Mexico, and it's sort of a love letter, you might call it, to the Tarahumara or Raramuri, two different names for them, the indigenous peoples of northern Mexico, and I'm not at all confident I pronounced their name correctly. You may have known about them at some point. They're the people who are known for running exceptional distances without modern equipment. First thing we do is get to the end of this little otherwise forced fight and warp to the area we're already in on the map. That skips it. Yeah, or it didn't skip it. That's really cool. There we go. I guess I wasn't quite hugging the wall enough there. Yeah, we're supposed to smack something over there to make that gate open, but we can just jump around it. We'll do stuff like that a lot throughout the run. Up the hill here, you may see hollows carved out of a stone wall there. We're supposed to gather stones from the surrounding area to fit into those hollows. I call that a stone gate. Every level has one, except the very last level. We will go through exactly none of them the way we're supposed to. This might take a few tries. Yeah, what I want to do is run up on this and jump as I run up. This is not as hard as I'm making it look. I am very rusty with this game. Oh, come on. There we go. Generally in a PvE attempt when I'm much more practiced with the game, if I miss that, I just reset because it's so close to the beginning of the run. And this enables us to run off to the first boss. I'm having a bug with... This is the PS4 version of the game. I would have ran on PC, except I was having problems getting my streaming PC to get sound from my gaming PC, which is brand new, so that's a whole kettle of fish. I'm having some kind of bug with the PS4 version where he just stops running. I don't know why that's happening. I'm not doing anything on the controller to make that happen. Anyway, this is the first boss, the big scorpion. I call this game a Zelda-like, with, the term Souls-like coming into vogue. I consider this a Zelda-like because it's sort of kind of dungeon-based. It's definitely level-based. And the bosses at the end of each level all have a certain gimmick to them. Just like Zelda bosses. This guy is a scorpion with a big armored shell, and his arena has pillars in it. I'm a little bit embarrassed to admit how long it took me in my first playthrough to catch on to the idea of making the pillars fall on him.
When you have a moment.
That's what you do. And you can
Sorry.
also attack
When you have a moment.
the legs,
You hear?
first the sheaves, and then the covering beneath them. That's less about doing damage to the boss and more about building up your special meter. That is the middle bar in the top right corner of the screen. The top 3 diamonds are my souls, my health. And at the bottom is my magic bar, which is not going down because I don't have any magic at this point in the game. In between those is the special meter or finisher meter, and it will be full.
Do you have a moment? Could you turn down the desktop audio slider a bit, actually? In OBS, could you turn down your desktop audio? I've been told that your micro is a bit low.
Sure. Yeah, turn it down? Okay. So we should have skipped that, and because we didn't pause during the level, we can just warp straight ahead to the next level from the map. Otherwise, we would have had a cutscene. Well, not a cutscene, but more of just a forced animation come up, making it... It is much more... come up much more slowly. This is the grand city of Pakini. The first goal when you get here is to locate... Okay, that'd be great. See if we can get the second one. Okay. Of course, in my little practice run before... there we go. Before going live, I nailed that perfectly. The first goal in this area is to get the bomb potion. And there are various little clues throughout the town that tell you where it is. Ordinarily, I would use much fancier pathing to get up here, but we're not being fancy right now. So here's the bombs. It's the chia plant. All I need is one, thanks to a glitch. I have one bomb, but I can throw it infinitely. And the way that glitch works is the display in the lower left corner of the screen is my potions. Bomb is the right-hand one, and it's a two-step process. By selecting the bomb potion, it brings up the reticle. If I press a different potion while the reticle is up, the game consumes that potion when I throw the bomb, even if it's a potion I don't actually have. So I am in the muscle memory of using left on the stick there. That's the shield potion, which we never even get in the run. So that's the Stone Gate skip for this level, this stage. And we can just toss our bomb endlessly to get through these rock walls. There is also an invisible platform there that you can ride on the way up, but it's quicker to just ride up. Here's our second boss, the Mantis. We're going to throw dupe bombs in his face. And try not to get hit, but sometimes it happens. Oh, wow. That was unusual. That was his major attack to clone many copies of himself, and I just happened to be in the animation of tossing the spear, and I tossed it at the real boss. There are two ways to tell which is the real boss when he does that attack. You can go into your supernatural... they call it Sukuru Wame vision. That's the word in the Tarahumara language for shaman. And the real boss glows a little bit when you do that, or you can just jump, and the real boss will jump with you. I'm not sure that's intended. But anyway, that went pretty well. I'm going to pick a safety bomb just in case I screw up a dupe at some point. And again, since we didn't pause during the level, we can just warp straight to the next one. This actually does skip a rather lengthy cutscene. The story of the game it's pretty generic, but it's actually a story from the mythology of these peoples. It's... Oh, nice pathing there. It's the warrior shaman Mulaka being tasked with scouring the land to acquire the powers of the great demigods to defeat the great lord of evil. And as you have noticed there, the powers that we will be getting is the power to transform into animals. The first one is the ivory-billed woodpecker. There is a clip you can do here. Even when I'm quote-unquote good at the game, I'm very bad at it. So I'll just go in the cave the normal way. We're supposed to do this, and then that happens, and then you can go in the cave. This is all it skips. It's a 10-second time save, maybe, if you get it right away. We have a much bigger skip inside the cave. And this little notch here. So that's a pretty big skip. This alone is a pretty late area in the normal progression of the cave, but we're about to an even sillier skip. Oh, thank God that happened first try. Yeah, that can take minutes and minutes. That is a common reset point for PB attempts. So we're out of bounds on top of the cave architecture now, and we're just running straight to the boss. There are various little Easter eggs in the out of bounds area. I asked the developers of the game once if they expected the player to come here, and really I'm not sure they entirely understood the question because the answer was simply yes. But I guess it's possible that the answer is simply yes. Just stop and running. Yeah, I've never actually speedrun this game on PS4. I've done it, of course, many times on PC and on Switch even, but never on PS4. Alright, so here's the boss. He's just a pile of rocks on the bottom of the cave. Until you throw a bomb at him. You can also attack him with your spear. That's bad. This is most definitely the easiest boss in the game, and it's the one I die to the most in speedruns. Yeah, that orange hand, or those orange hands, I guess there are many of them. If they grab you while you are in human form, they will automatically take one of your 3 souls. If you're in an animal form, they can't grab you. So this is the next objective of the fight, is to destroy these mouths on him. The first phase, they're pretty passive. There's only 6 of them. Yeah, if I did that right, I could have taken out 2 of the mouths with a duped bomb. But that's okay. This is the kind of the midway point between phases. You throw 3 bombs at him and your spear. If you don't throw your spear at him, the game will actually basically teleport you to the bottom of the cave and you have to climb up all the way over again. I think it's because the game expects you to drop down there and attack him with your spear. And just melee, not throwing it. The boss is much more aggressive in the second phase. There are 12 mouths instead of 6, and they actually attack. They don't really attack at all in the first phase. I don't know if that's intentional. Yeah, that wind will harm you, and they're also shooting out invisible enemies. You can turn on your supernatural eyesight to see them, or you can also see the rocks they push. So that wasn't half bad. Definitely want to get up to 4 heals here. Go to the demigod. And yeah, that was me trying to warp to the next area. It didn't work. Thankfully, the cutscene, if it spawns, it's skippable anyway, so it's not a catastrophic time loss if you screw up the map warping. But it is still a small one. And this is the mountainside by the cave, or by the lake. There's tons of cool stuff you can do here, but we're just going to fly through the stone gate and go after the boss, because that's fast, and we like going fast. First time I saw that skip in the world record run, I said something you probably don't want me to say on the stream. This is the attack we want him to do, sucking in water. He'll shoot it out. This is the only time we want him to shoot it out, because it's useless to us before he does it once. This is the attack we don't want him to do, shaking. Okay, when he moves like that, that means he's going to do the suck. That's our new animal transformation, the bear. We can use that to shoot that fish skeleton into his mouth that stuns him. And it opens up the one and only part of his body that's actually vulnerable, which is his tongue. Tell me this doesn't remind you of a Zelda boss. Yeah, we want him to suck in water as much as possible. We really don't want him to shake or stomp. Stomp is acceptable because usually when he stomps, he will do the suck shortly afterward. If you're really good, you can push the fish skeleton straight up to his mouth, not even have to do the bear transformation to push it in. I almost got it there. So I do a light combo, melee, a heavy combo, and then dupe a bomb. Yeah, shaking, when he does the shake attack, that's just a waste of time. This does nothing for us. Thankfully, you can iframe that. Why wasn't I facing him? That was so dumb. I was right in the right place, but I somehow wasn't facing him. This boss in particular makes me slightly scared to do PB attempts again, because in my last PB, before I stopped running the game for 4 months, even though I submitted it to marathons, this fight went perfectly in my PB. And a ball. I think it's 2 more cycles. Trying to attack that large frog, but the game didn't hear my input in time. Finisher is something of a misnomer. It doesn't really finish much of anything. That's why I tend to call it a special. Yeah, and if the fight goes as badly as it is for me right now, the game starts to take pity on you a little by doing the... What? I threw the fish skeleton into his mouth. You gotta be kidding me. By doing the suck attack a lot more often. Now, this is quite bad, but it could, believe it or not, be worse. Yeah, and if he lands on the fish skeleton when he does his jump, it will destroy it. So you can't be too close to it when he does his jump, because he homes in on you during his jump. 1 more cycle and he's dead. That was bad luck. I don't know if it was bad RNG. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I hope you guys didn't think I was kidding when I told you this run was going to be a bit of a train wreck. I'm sorry, by the way. I should have practiced, but I've been very busy at work, and I got my new PC in, getting that all set up. It's more of an excuse than a good reason, but that's what it is anyway. There, the boss is dead. I'm gonna go off to the next area. I don't think much of anyone is watching anyway. Oh, Sir Tamir. Hi, Sir Tamir. I've never not taken that little sliver of damage going by the mushroom thing. Rage potions are damage buffs. Surprisingly, you use only 1. So in this level, and also the next one, we will take the save point so that we can warp to it later. And this herky-jerky running is just great. The game wants you to destroy these with the bear transformation, but you can simply jump over them. There's a Circle of Stones fight coming up here that's... If you run to the left of the Circle of Stones, you can just run past it. If you try to do this going to the right, it will spawn the fight. So we have Scorpion again. He's a mini-boss this time. This is the one time we'll use the damage burst, the damage potion, and that should have staggered him. I don't know why it didn't. Yeah, the mark of if you got a good fight here is if the buff is still active when it's over, and it is so not going to be on this fight. Okay. Yeah, it's already gone. What is it? Staggering, okay. I guess that could have been much worse, but it was still quite bad. There's literally nothing to do here for a moment until the demigod statue spawns. Once we see game saved at the bottom of the screen, that is when we warp back to the area we're already in. This is why we took the save point a few moments ago. Alright, ordinarily I would leave these two gentlemen alone, but this next out of bounds has the potential to go catastrophically wrong. So I'm going to remove them from the list of problems. Yeah. That last fight gave us the... I'm not pressing the right buttons on my controller. Wow. Oh, that actually went pretty good. It gave us the Puma transformation, which does... that. There's a good demonstration of it. It leaps forward horizontally, and it does that no matter where you are, meaning it can do that through invisible walls. Alright, here's a tough fight. You have to go back to the door to instigate the fight, but even then, it takes them... it kind of takes the bosses a second to realize you're here. Yeah, and the Puma does more damage than the bear. The bear just has a better hitbox. It's really good to have them grouped around you like that. There, one of them's down. The green one should have almost no health left. Yep, there we go. So the red one has the most health. That missed. Was bad, but really not as bad as it could have been. And once again, we can just warp straight to the next area instead of going through a cutscene. Smo and Smo, yeah. I do kind of liken them to Ornstein and Smo from Dark Souls, except there are 3 of them, and they're all the same size. Yeah, that's actually key in each level not to pause during the level. For whatever reason, that makes it so warping by the map like that doesn't work, because the next level is not on the map when you bring it up if you've paused over the course of the level. Did a little out of bounds there to just skip a very minor bit of platforming. It's a small time save, but in good runs, small time saves add up to big runs. Here's the save point for this level. As I mentioned earlier, we will take it. Animal morph, the frogs with the big long tongues can't get you. Alright, this is really the only Circle of Stones fight in the game that we actually do. There's dozens of them throughout the game. And they're supposed to be mandatory, but they're really quite easily skipped. The only reason we're doing this one is because it awards the final animal transformation. And you quite literally need it to complete the game. That's phase 1 of this fight. The next phase is little scorpions. There is a specific enemy I have in mind for the special I will be accumulating. Yeah, did you see there? The red frog could have grabbed me, except I was in bear morph, so that made it made him unable to grab me. Alright, so the enemy who gets to eat the special should be coming up soon. Yep, it's that guy right over there, the flying mantis. These guys are very annoying to chase down and shoot down, so it's more than worth it to use the special on him, and actually it took out everybody. That's pretty cool. Well, almost everybody. Alright, Big Froggo. He dies in 2 bombs, 2 pumas, or a bomb and a puma. So, if you do it right, that's how fast he can die. I'm pleased, pleased it went that well. We practiced a few moments ago, it did not. Come on. There's game saved. And we warp back to the area we're already in. Save point we took a moment ago. If you have any bless RNGs to spare, the upcoming skip is the one to use them on. First Yeah, almost all of the out-of-bounds area in this game has collision. There's some that doesn't. Okay, we got it. All right, good. You may have heard me softly counting. Whenever you're gliding in midair in human form or doing the whole Jimmy Legs dance, that means you're on unstable ground, and if you stay in that state for 12 seconds, you will be teleported back to your last position of stable ground. Morphing resets the counter. So I counted to 11, went into bird morph, and that let me do all the floating I needed to do the skip. Yeah, this level does have a stone gate. We just never even see it. Here's the boss. It's possible to kill this boss in 3 cycles. It's not going to happen. There's a couple of AI manipulations you can do. This is the slow one because this is the one I remember. This is the one I did for a ton of runs. Thankfully, I do believe my PB has the fast one, so when I do finally go back to doing runs of this again, which I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but having this run in the marathon kind of makes me want to. But yeah, that's the correct attack cycle. It's light combo, heavy combo, minus the final hit, and then a duped bomb. Yeah, this is the attack we need him to do. By slamming his fist into the ground, it grows vines, and by turning into the sea snake, which is the last animal transformation, we can freeze the vines, which we can then knock down with the bear transformation. It's, I guess, a little bit convoluted. 163. If you had 160 there, we could potentially get the 3 cycle. But yeah, for whatever reason, staying by his right back leg makes him about 950,000% more likely to do the attack where his head becomes vines. So that's why I've been doing it. Oh, he didn't even let me do the bomb that time, so yeah, 54. 1 more cycle. 4 cycles, not horrendous. My PB actually had a 3 cycle that the first time I had ever gotten a 3 cycle in a run, and it didn't even save time. I guess because the skip went so well. Or poorly. And it had gone well in the comparison split. This is not a bad fight at all. Should be dead here. Yeah, it will be a Christmas miracle if this run is under estimate. Partially because the estimate was based on PC, but also because I'm just so woefully out of practice. Doing the sea snake there lets you do that. Don't know how else to describe it. Oh, here's another really tough skip. Nice first try. There's a lot of mechanics going on there. I've already forgotten most of them. It's very late and I'm very tired. Another reason why I was not too confident about this run. But it's... Don't get me wrong, it's not been a good run, but it's been a better run than I was expecting. Yeah, the intended purpose of the sea snake is to... so that you can go across water. It freezes the water and you can glide on the ice. I don't think I ever actually do that in the run. Yeah, this level is supposed to take probably a couple hours casually, and that's if you're at a brisk pace. It eventually leads you to the giant rock turtle over there. I don't know, maybe it's disrespectful to call it that, because everything in this game, I should have mentioned this, everything in this game is meant to be as authentic as possible to the experience of the indigenous peoples of northern Mexico, whose name I doubt I pronounced correctly, including the names of characters. So this is like actually a god in their religion. So maybe rock turtle is not the best thing to call it. But even the land masses and the music, the music is played on instruments that are likewise indigenous to this region, and the land masses are meant to look like areas that are actually in northern Mexico. So we dupe our bombs to take out this boss's weak points. They always light up in the same order. You can also throw your spear at them. I will do that for some of the later ones, when the boss gets even more squirrely than this, and it's hard to aim bombs. But for the first few, bomb duping is probably the best idea, because it only takes 2 bombs as opposed to 3 spear tosses. No, I didn't want to do that. I was just trying to not get recovery frames when I landed, but I wound up grabbing the flowers on the side of him inadvertently. Probably at this point I can stop duping bombs because I won't need them against the final boss. Okay, alright. This is very rare. I've only encountered this a few times. The flowers, that's what I'm calling these orange things. I don't know exactly what they are. The Puma transformation is able to climb them. Maybe it's because I climbed them inadvertently once. They're supposed to disappear from his right back leg. They're not supposed to disappear from his left back leg, but sometimes, like here, they do. So that's the other way of mounting the boss. I've had some people say this boss reminds them of Shadow of the Colossus. In fact, one of the older runners for the game called that in his splits. He called it Shadow of the Mulaka. This boss fight. So I can see the similarities. Yeah, you can see at this point, aiming bombs would be very difficult. Yeah, he has like 1200 HP, and each one of these glowing weak points takes out 100, so it's really just take out 12 weak points is all it boils down to. And the finisher, or special as I prefer to call it, will take out 1 on its own. If I can get near enough to it. Oh, that might not be close enough. Okay, it was good. And now it's time to go to hell. That actually is quite literally what we're doing here. The name of this area is Rili Nairale. I don't speak this language. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I have no idea if that's how it's pronounced. It's the underworld. It's kind of a cool aesthetic. And the cutscene that we skipped there is that the boss, he's kind of a guardian, giving me the power to survive here. There's a couple of really cool skips along the way here. One's free, the other is rewarded. Jumping is also really hard. That's awesome. Yeah, and of course we do this final fight with no upgrades, so Mulaka S bless RNG. I'm going to pick another heal. There's not enough grass there for me to... I didn't do the cool skip. Oh, I'm so mad at myself. The hitbox for that little cutscene extends beyond the area where you can actually stand. Oh my god. If I knew what I was doing, I would have flown as the bird to an area to the left of that platform, and it would have triggered the cutscene all the same. There's my extra heal. I thought... Frick me. I thought that the harder skip came first, but actually the easier one does. Oh no, we're already past the harder skip, because here's the boss. I'm so good at this video game. So you may notice those diamonds there. There's 5 of them that are lit up. This is why we do runs on Profile 2. It's because this game is supposed to end with a boss rush. But if you clear the boss rush on any file, it saves it in the game's memory to have the boss rush cleared. So the next time you approach this area as any save file, the full boss rush will be cleared. So you only have to fight the final boss. This is the Lord of Darkness, Taragori. What you need to do is bait out his swipes until he exposes his heart. I'm running the wrong way. You should be running counterclockwise against his swipes. I was running clockwise. Yeah, that doesn't count as exposing his heart. You cannot get in there. Yeah, the safest place to be is actually where I am. I'm just not good at the video game right now. Like I said, the Puma transformation does a lot of damage. It is by far your best option for damage when he exposes his heart like that. Not the bear, not straight melee, not even duped bombs. You can dupe 3 bombs in the time that his heart is exposed, but it will do slightly less damage than 1 Puma attack. And it's much slower anyway. Even if the Puma was slightly less numerical damage, it would be much better DPS. This big old black wall of crud will, will force you to respawn. Yeah, the thing about the Puma is it takes up all your magic, so by doing it I inadvertently did it against those ads instead of against the boss, so I didn't have the ability to do it again against the boss, so that's why I threw the 3 bombs. One thing that's a little inconvenient about the healing system, and really the other potions too for this game, this is using a healing potion. You have to do the entire animation for it to count. And if you do a partial... Oh, this is just going so great. If you do a partial animation, it still counts as having consumed the potion, even though you don't get the effects of it. That one went through, so that's good. We at least should not die. Yeah, in the War Record run, I should shout out the War Record holder. His name is Pedrogas. Very good runner, very friendly guy. He actually eats the black ooze. He just runs straight up to the boss. He takes a couple of hits that way. I'm not convinced that's faster. Should be stunned here, yeah. Because throwing the spear makes the black ooze go away anyway. Time is a little bit unpredictable. It's when the boss is dead. It'll be very soon. It might be the next hit. I guess it's a little more predictable than I was making out. It's either 1 or 2 more hits. So be ready. Okay, that's what happens when you run in the black ooze. But like I said, Warreki does that purposely a couple of times. He hasn't done his clone attack. It's really strange. This might be time. Time. Alright. I'm not exactly proud of how that went, but that's Mulaka. It's a really great game, and the developers Lienzo actually put some of their profits for the game. Oh, yeah, that's the achievement / trophy you get for completing the game using fewer than 8 souls. Like I said, I'd never actually done a run on PS4 before, so there you go. They give some of their profits for the game to efforts to maintain the Tarahumara culture in northern Mexico, because it is dying out. The youth of the culture are getting increasingly Hispanicized, being brought off to major cities in Mexico and losing their native ways. So, and, you know, part of me thinks that shouldn't really happen with anybody's way of life, so it's It's a really significant game, and it's a really, really fun, good game. I recommend it wholly. Goes on sale on Steam all the time. There we go. Only 3 minutes over, so it was sub 40? I can live with sub 40.
I can't talk loud because I will irritate the streamer. It was 38:03.
That's quite bad, but considering what I was expecting, I'll accept it. Thank you so much for having me.